These days, Russia is in the middle of election campaign. Next president is to be elected. Tensions grew as never before. Nearly all registered candidates are accused of law violations. An odious figure of the elections is oligarch Michael Prokhorov. He is the only registered self-nominee, but whether his registration is legal is quite a question. The video we present is a call by Svetlana Pionova, a leader of People Oppositional Political Party the Volya, disclosing fraud of Prokhorov and the Central Election Committee, and calling people of goodwill to fight arbitrary rule, to stand for civil and human right. Hereby, I want to call all not indifferent people to join us in obtaining justice. Today it's crucial to fight unlawfulness, triumphing in presidential elections in Russia. We can not just watch apathetically how people who have already ruined our country are elbowing their way to power again. Oligarch Prokhorov is registered now. Meanwhile, I filed a petition in an investigation committee because I and my assistants have weighty evidences proving that signatures of citizens in support of his nomination as candidate were collected with gross violations of legislation. Citizens proved guilty of fraud must serve as term not in the Kremlin but in another place. While collecting signatures, we came across a woman once who said to be a collector of signatures in support of Prokhorov. She said she had ID copies of plenty fellow townsmen, including those living in the same apartment building with her, and she filled in supporting forms instead of them. I guess it's quite fine. She also said that people signed for chocolate bars. We visited a prominent businessman in the city of Belgrade. He said he helped to collect signatures in support of Prokhorov's nomination and personally ensured collection of 4,000 signatures with administrative leverages and bribery. He paid 200 rubles for a signature. I personally visited office of Prokhorov's collectors. There were no visitors there. A collector just filled in for my data, didn't ask for my ID. I could see 4 handwritings in one line, name, address, date and signatures were written by different people, which is a violation. Many of these witnesses attempted to evidence in the investigation committee personally, but nobody would listen to them. Collectors who committed fraud while collecting signatures in support of nomination of Kasyanov in 2008 were found guilty. Yet, neither investigation committee nor Central Election Committee is going to find Prokhorov guilty, for all of them are subject to the supreme power of the Russian Federation. I seriously doubt these candidates could collect 2 million signatures. That is physically impossible. One candidate who ran for the office, Svetlana Pionova, collected 300,000 signatures. I believe this is more or less a real amount possible to collect under the circumstances. Maybe real amount is even less. It's impossible to collect millions of qualitative signatures within the term allocated by law. That is, Svetlana Pionova is right when she claims a normal person unable to collect more than 200,000 signatures. I guess these figures are quite realistic. Besides, our president said about same parameters for the future elections. But 2 million signatures is absolutely overwhelming. I believe none of candidates presented 2 million qualitative signatures. Andrei Bogdanov, political engineer, none of self-nominees will be able to collect 2 million reliable signatures with weight less 5%. In 2008, Gennady Rykov, a member of Central Election Committee, declared, "When we say it's necessary to collect 2 million signatures, we understand that impossible initially." Agree with him was Alexander Vishnikov, former chairman of the Central Election Committee. The members of the Parliamentary Assembly of the Council of Europe also consider the requirement to collect 2 million signatures to be registered as candidate for presidency too tough, and it automatically cuts representatives of opposition off elections. So, everybody repeats that it's impossible to collect 2 million signatures within 20 days. Consequently, those who submitted 2 million signatures to the Central Election Committee give a serious reason to suspect dishonesty, fraud.